Hello everyone, and it's time for my March book haul. Got some complete series and series continuations and other books, and again it's just, trying to lift myself up type of a situation. Let's go ahead and go with this first stack I have in front of me. These are going to be in no particular order. The first one I have on my stack is Only for the Week, written by Natasha Bishop. Did I just see that this one was... Oh, no. Okay. I was like, did I just see an author's signature? I was seeing that really briefly, that LY, and so it looked like a signature, but it's not. Oh well, okay. It says, "You are cordially invited to the wedding of Amory Cross and Arnold Hightower. A destination wedding in Tulum should be a breeze, but Dr. Janelle Cross, the sister of the bride and the ex-girlfriend of the groom, can't catch a break. Between her maid of honor duties, her sister's bridezilla antics, and her family tiptoeing around her non-existent feelings for her ex, Janelle is desperate to let off some steam. So when the best man, Rome, proposes they give in to their undeniable chemistry, Janelle agrees. Under one condition: the affair can only last a week. What happens in Tulum doesn't always stay in Tulum. For Rome Martin, Janelle has always been off limits. She's his best friend's ex, and Rome is nothing if not loyal, but he's never been able to get her off his mind, and now he might finally have a chance to win her over. As the wedding brings them together, every kiss, adventure, and stolen moment feels right. Janelle and Rome agreed to live in the moment, but are they willing to risk it all for forever?" That sounds so cute. And there's images. Oh, there's text exchanges. Ooh, I wish that was in color. Oh, it's the same image. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, sounds cute. Okay, next on my stack is 9-Month Contract by Amy Daws. For a second I thought Davis, but no, it is Daws. Plaid sprayed edges, and then this top is, looks like they're goats. And it's the same on the bottom. Let's see. Help wanted. Grumpy mountain man seeks baby mama. Job is an incubator position only. Surrogate must be impervious to grunting as the form of communication and nosy brotherly neighbors. Rustic mountain range housing available upon request. I wanted to pummel my irritating brothers when they posted their own version of a help wanted ad to help me with my life. But I can't fault the results once the right woman lands in my lap. Becoming a single father is not a decision I made lightly. In fact, it's the biggest decision of my life, which is why when I interview Trista, I know she's perfect. She's wild, she's opinionated, she wears cowboy boots. Even my pet goat loves her. She's the exact type of person I was holding out for. And to my great horror, I realize on our first night of attempting this baby-making dance, when the lights are low, the cheap wine is flowing, and the home insemination supplies are laid out on the kitchen counter, I want to do a lot more than just make her my surrogate. I want to make her mine. Okay. That actually sounds pretty good. I was going to say, what made me laugh, where it says, even my pet goat loves her, I was going to say, even my... something about petting my goat. I don't know. Next up is part of a box set. This box set came with 4 books. I hope that the 5th book that just came out, when it converts to the paperback, will be in these editions, because I really like these editions. And there is no synopsis on these editions, and so I'll list all of the titles and authors in the description box for all of the books that I will show in this. But book number 1, this is a young adult dystopian series, and it's got a lot of buzz right now because of the 5th book in the series, and this one's book number 1. So this is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. There is a quote on the back, or something on the back. It does say, "Winning means fame and fortune. Losing means certain death." So I have read the Hunger Games series before, but I would like to reread it. So, and I really liked these editions, so I went ahead and got these editions. Book number 2 is Catching Fire. So they're all leaves, just different colors. But yeah, the back of this one says, Katniss Everdeen survived the Hunger Games. Now the Capitol wants revenge. Book number 3 is Mockingjay. I love the colors on this one. The back says, if we burn, you burn with us. And there's a little bit like the leaves are outlined. You can't really see it, but they are outlined in like a foil. And then this one's the prequel, and this one is, who did they say it was? The back says, ambition will fuel him, competition will drive him, but power has its price. The one that comes after this is Haymitch, who was the mentor for Katniss in the series. This one, it doesn't follow the capital guy. I don't remember. Snow is his name. That's right. Jon Snow. I don't know. Could be wrong on that, but I have not read this one yet, and it's been out for a little bit, and I have not read this particular book at all. So this one, so the 3 books, the Catching Fire, Mockingjay, and the Hunger Games will all be a reread for me. This will be a first-time read. This next one, it has blood dripping down this as the sprayed edges, and I like the cover. It is blood on her tongue. Very creepy cover. It says, I'm in your blood and you are in mine. The Netherlands, 1887. Lucy's twin sister Sarah is unwell. She refuses to eat, mumbles nonsensically, and is increasingly obsessed with a centuries-old corpse recently discovered on her husband's grand estate. The doctor has diagnosed her with temporary insanity caused by a fever of the brain. To protect her twin from a terrible fate in a lunatic asylum, Lucy must unravel the mystery surrounding her sister's condition. But it's clear her twin is hiding something. Then again, Lucy is harboring secrets of her own, too. Then the worst happens. Sarah's behavior takes a turn for the strange. She becomes angry and hungry. Lucy soon comes to suspect that something is trying to possess her beloved sister. Or is it madness? As Sarah changes before her very eyes, Lucy must reckon with the dark, monstrous truth or risk losing her forever. Next, I have The Orphanage by the Lake by Daniel G. Miller. A missing girl, an orphanage filled with secrets. Hazel wants a new life. She's 30 years old, single, and her private investigation business is months away from folding. Her luck takes a turn when Madeline Hemsley, a mysterious socialite, pays Hazel a visit with an offer too enticing to resist. An orphan girl has disappeared from a children's home, the Orphanage by the Lake, as the locals call it, and Madeline wants Hazel to find her. At first glance, it appears to be a standard runaway case, but as Hazel plunges into the investigation, she finds signs of something more. Unexplained bloodstains, cryptic symbols, sinister figures shadowing her every move. The more she digs, the more she realizes that the Orphanage by the Lake holds terrifying secrets, and even worse, so does Madeline. And this next one I have is Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. It's got a, what is, oh, phase 2, so that, okay, just page 6. That's a creepy vibe. Okay. Makes me think of The Ring. The movie The Ring. Okay. Noah Fairchild has been losing his formerly polite Southern parents to far-right cable news for years. So when his mother leaves him a voicemail warning him that the Great Reawakening is here, he assumes it's related to one of the many conspiracy theories she believes in. But when his own phone calls go unanswered, Noah makes a long drive from his home in Brooklyn to Richmond, Virginia. There, he discovers his childhood home in shambles, a fridge full of spoiled food, and his parents locked in a terrifying, trance-like state in front of the TV. Panicked, Noah attempts to snap them out of it and get medical help. Then, Noah's mother brutally attacks him. But Noah isn't the only person to be attacked by a loved one. Families across the country are tearing each other apart, literally, as people succumb to a form of possession that gets worse the more time they spend glued to cable news or falling down internet rabbit holes. In Noah's Richmond-based family, only he and his young nephew Marcus are unaffected. Together, they must race back to the safe haven of Brooklyn, but can they make it before they fall prey to the violent hordes? That sounds so good. Now, next up, I absolutely had to get a book from this author. There's two things this author has been in that I've seen, as far as, because he's an actor. One, he was in Star Trek: The Next Generation, and I never made the connection because I was a child when he was, it was an 80s TV show that he hosted for children. And that is the, if you remember the theme song, Butterflies in the Sky, I can go twice as high. It's in a, let's take a look, it's in a book, they're reading a rainbow. So that is LeVar Burton. He has a book out. I'm so excited. I remember him mostly from the Reading Rainbow. I remember watching it as a kid. Do I remember anything that I saw in it? No, because I was a child. And then to finally make the connection, I don't know how long ago I made the connection that he played, I can't remember, but he's the one, he played a blind man that wore the special visor that helped him see in Star Trek: The Next Generation. But he has a book out now, and I absolutely wanted to get a book from him. So, LeVar Burton wrote Aftermath. America today is teetering on the edge of the alarming vision presented in LeVar Burton's debut novel. Does he have another, but he might have a nonfiction, I can't remember, but anyway, so, okay, debut. In 2012, the first African-American president is assassinated by a white extremist, just 4 days after he is elected. The horrific tragedy leads to riots, financial collapse, and ultimately a full-on civil war. In its aftermath, millions are left homeless as famine and disease spread throughout the country. But from Chicago, a mysterious voice cries out. To Leon Crane, a former NASA scientist now struggling to survive on the streets, the pleas he hears remind him of the wife he could not save, and offer him a chance at redemption. To Jacob Firecloud, a revered Lakota medicine man, the voice is a sign that the White Buffalo Woman has returned to unite all the races in peace and prosperity. Oh, I sure wish we had peace and prosperity. Oh. Anyway, okay, moving on. And to little Amy Laud, the cries are those of her mother, who disappeared during the devastating St. Louis earthquake, and who must still be alive. These three strangers will be drawn together to rescue someone they have never met, a woman who holds the key to a new future for humanity, one remarkably brimming with hope. Next up, I have Caught Dead-Handed. This, I believe, is a cozy mystery. It says, a first in a new series, a Witch City mystery. I love the vibes of this cover. This was a complete cover draw-in, so love this one. She's not a psychic. She just plays one on TV. Most folks associate the city of Salem, Massachusetts with witches, but for Lee Barrett, it's home. This October, she's returned to her hometown where her beloved Aunt Ibby still lives to interview for a job as a reporter at Witch TV. But the only opening is for a call-in psychic to host the late-night horror movies. It seems the previous host, Ariel Constellation, never saw her own murder coming. Lee reluctantly takes the job, but when she starts seeing real events in the obsidian ball she's using as a prop, she wonders if she might really have psychic abilities. To make things even spookier, it's starting to look like Ariel might have been an actual practicing witch, especially when Orion, the cat Lee and Aunt Ibby inherited from her, exhibits some strange powers of his own. With Halloween fast approaching, Lee must focus on unmasking a killer, or her career as a psychic may be very short-lived. This next one, when I got Caught Dead-Handed, it said, people who buy this usually buy this type of a thing. So, looked good to me. This one is book number 1 in a small town cozy mystery. Book number 1 is called A Bitter Pill. This is the actual title. The series is this. The Bookshop Mysteries is the name of the title. This is written by S.A. Reeves, and S.A. Reeves, I did find out when I was looking at this, says S.A. Reeves is the pen name for a husband and wife writing duo. So, there we go. Let's see. When a book signing turns deadly, 2 bookshop owners turn detectives. Gemma loves the quiet life of her bookshop, the Bookworm, a haven for book lovers in a quaint town in the heart of Derbyshire. But everything changes when Gemma discovers the body of local author Dominic Wesley during the shop's latest book signing event. When the police rule the death as an accidental overdose, Dominic's estranged widow points the finger at one of his past lovers. Gemma and her trusty assistant, Mavis, won't rest until they uncover the truth. Was it an accidental overdose or something more sinister? Okay, next up I have The Menu, written by J.R. Baude, I'm guessing. Shrouded in mystery, an anonymous invitation arrives, leaving its recipient, Trevor Fontaine, swirling in intrigue. The offer, harmless enough, is an entry into a competition to develop a menu for a forthcoming restaurant. Recently unemployed and the prize money too generous to ignore, he cautiously accepts the invitation, unable to imagine the extent of the challenging journey ahead. Any thoughts he'd harbored of a career in gastronomic pursuits had been left behind years before, ending in an abrupt, bitter departure from culinary school under dubious circumstances. And although the contest is merely a temporary endeavor, there is a chance it may awaken some unresolved issues from his past. A global gastronomic voyage ensues, bringing with it eye-opening adventures, but also resurrecting unsettled darkness from his earlier days, testing his resolve through agonizing confrontations with those damaged by deliberate acts at the hands of his own family, eventually culminating in unforeseen danger. Throughout, stark questions arise about why he was chosen for the contest and exact motivations of the puppet master conducting it. How does this anonymous person seem to possess an eerie depth of intimate knowledge regarding Fontaine's past? As events unfold, questions arise about whether the contest is designed to heal him or devastate him instead. But as Fontaine's quest for the prize progresses, he learns that victory may take form as something he never could have imagined when it all began. This next one is a series continuation. It's the final book in a trilogy. I am hoping to get to book number 2 in April. We'll see how it goes. And I know I enjoyed the writing and I really liked the book for book number 1. So I went ahead and got the last book in the trilogy. And this one is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. Let's see. Betrayed and left for dead. Rin has returned to her roots, to the southern provinces and the village that is her home. Her new allies are sly, but Rin knows that true power lies with the millions of common people who thirst for vengeance and revere her as a goddess. And that's all I'm going to read of that. I don't think that spoils anything, really, so, yeah. And I haven't even read the second book, so I have no idea what's going to go on. So, anyway, The Burning God. I'm going to put this one off to the side because if I finish book number 2, I would like to jump into this one as soon as possible just to finish the series. So I think I'm going to put this one next to book number 2 with my April stack. All right, this next one I have read a book from this author. I've read 2 books from this author so far. And this is one that I'm just always going to want at least one. So when I read this book, I'll be purchasing another book from this author. So I'm always going to have at least one book from this author in my possession unread until I've finally caught up with all of his books, which probably, I don't know, whenever he decides to stop writing or he passes away. So anyway, that is author Dean Koontz, and this one is The Funhouse. Is there a synopsis? Oh, here we go. The synopsis is on the inside. It says, once there was a girl who ran away and joined a traveling carnival. She married a man she grew to hate and gave birth to a child she could never love. A child so mysterious that she killed it with her own hands. 25 years later, Ellen Harper has a new life, a new husband, and 2 normal children. Joey loves monster movies, and Amy is about to graduate from high school. But their mother drowns her secret guilt in alcohol and prayer. The time has come for Amy and Joey to pay for her sins, because Amy is pregnant, and the carnival is coming to town. This next one I got because in Romance Reveal book box, I received book 3 or something like that in a series, and so I got the first book, and this one is Hot Mess Summer by Melissa Foster. So this is the first book in a series, and again I got the second or third or fourth or something like that, but definitely later on in the series in the subscription. So the back of this one says, damn his tempting dimples. Who buys a cottage in a New England fishing village on a whim? A stressed out, twice divorced romance writer and single mother looking for a fresh start. That's who. Despite what my besties say about my 3-year dry spell, I'm not looking for a man, or drama, or sex. I've got enough on my plate with writer's block and a daughter who refuses to grow up. Community, that's what I need. Unfortunately, it seems the universe has other ideas. Either Chatham, Chatham, I don't know, something. Massachusetts has a serious. It's some city in Massachusetts. So either Massachusetts has a serious shortage of single women, or I become a hot mess magnet for the male species. At least I found one funny, good-hearted friend, fish peddler Declan Miller, my brainstorming adventure buddy who stirs my creative juices. I'm his writer girl. He's my dimple dude. Just scruffy, granite-chested, deep-voiced ex-military brawn who happens to be, oh, Nicole, what are you doing to yourself? Stoking a long-neglected fire without even trying. A self-confessed hot mess, divorced single dad, Declan is too old for relationship games. Not interested? Same here. So why do I keep thinking about him? Preferably naked. Because I'm a hot mess too? At least he's inspiring me to write. If only real life were like one of my novels, at least then I'd have a better idea of how this was going to end. Next is book number 2 in a series, and I absolutely loved the first one. And book number 2 is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. So in this one, Sorengale is forced to try to enter the schooling to become a dragon rider. She wanted to be a scribe, but her mother forced her into this dragon riding school. A lot of people thought she would die because she is considered weak, things like that. And we're just following the events of that day. And certain secrets have come to fruition, and I was shocked. And I absolutely loved the first book, and I'm so excited to continue on. That's all I'm going to say about this one because I really don't want to spoil anything. I know it's a hot topic right now, but yeah. And this is not a special edition or anything. I could have tried to purchase a special edition, but it would have been like double the price of this one. So I thought, I mean, the sprayed edges, yeah, they'd be nice, but this is what I'll see on my bookcase. So, and then another series continuation is actually book number 3 in that. So following book number 2, I just showed you, I got Onyx Storm. Now this one did come with sprayed edges. Really like the stenciled edges on this one. And I'm assuming it's going to follow, Onyx Storm will follow Iron Flame. So looking forward to that. Really looking forward to continuing this one. When will I continue it? Who knows, but I'm looking forward to it. Now this next 5 books, yes, 5 books are all in the same series. I actually recently completed this series through my ebook, but I really wanted a physical copy because there are things I really wanted to underline. And I loved this series enough that I definitely want my own copy. And these are fantasy. This is a young adult epic fantasy. Book number 1 is Pawn of Prophecy by David Eddings. The series is Ballad. So this is book number 1. I will read the synopsis of the first book, but not the others. This one says, a battle is coming, and in that battle shall be decided the fate of the world. Myths tell of the ancient wars of gods and men, and a powerful object, the orb, that ended the bloodshed. As long as it was held by the line of Riva, it would assure the peace. It would assure peace. No, it would assure the peace. That's what it says. Okay. But a dark force has stolen the orb, and the prophecies tell of war. Young farm boy Garion knows nothing of myth or fate, but when the mysterious old storyteller visits his aunt and they embark on a sudden journey, pursued by evil forces with only a small band of companions they can trust, Garion begins to doubt all he thought he knew. And so we're following, Garion is the main character in this that we are following, and so we're following him as a young man into adulthood. So, book number 2 in that series is Queen of Sorcery. Book number 3 is Magician's Gambit. Book number 4 is Castle of Wizardry. And then the last book in the Ballad series is Enchanter's Endgame. Next up I have A Fear Street Seniors by R.L. Stine. This one is Wicked. Valedictorian. That's all Marla Numa wants, but her chance is quickly slipping away. Then Marla meets 2 juniors who say they can give Marla the power to get anything she wants. Anything. But Marla soon learns that power comes with a price, paid in blood. Another book by R.L. Stine is Fear Street Nights, and this one is Darkest Dawn. When you can't sleep, there's always nights. The night people are safe at last. After all the ugly pranks and vicious murders, things have finally returned to normal. The friends who are left are trying to forget and move on, taking comfort by meeting up late at night at their old hangout nights. It was the ancient spirit of, I'm not going to say this because I'm sure this is a spoiler, something that caused all the trouble, and now this spirit has been, they think has been destroyed, but is it really destroyed? Next, this was a complete cover draw-in. I think the coloring is so beautiful on this. There's a cat on the cover too. This one is The Rainfall Market. The cat is right there. It's a white cat. This is written by Yu Yong Guang. I'm sure I said that wrong. Translated by Slin Jung. If you could swap your life for a better one, which would you choose? On the outskirts of Rainbow Town, there is an old abandoned house. They say that if you send a letter detailing your misfortunes there, you could receive a ticket. If you bring this ticket to the house on the first day of the rainy season, you'll be granted entrance into the mysterious Rainfall Market, where you can choose to completely change your life. No one is more surprised than Saren when she receives a ticket. Lonely and with no real prospects for a future, Saren ventures to the market, determined to create a better life for herself. There she meets a magical cat companion named Isha, and they search through bookstores, perfumeries, and fantastical realms while Saren tries to determine what her perfect life will look like. The catch, Saren has only 1 week to find happiness, or she will be doomed to vanish into the market forever. And all the while, a shadow follows quietly behind them. Next, I have The Healing Season of Pottery. This is written by Jan Soman. Oh, the synopsis is on the inside. Okay. On a little flap. This one does have a flap. After breaking down at the office and abruptly quitting her job, 30-year-old Jungmin holes up in her apartment, speaking to no one for days on end. When she finally emerges, she stumbles upon a pottery studio in her neighborhood and is invited in by the mysterious workshop teacher. The smell of clay, the light filtering through the plant-filled windows, the friendly cat, and the incredible coffee the students drink awaken her senses and make her feel alive and inspired for the first time in months. As the seasons change, Jungmin slowly returns to herself and builds a new community with the other members of the studio, who are all working through their own pasts at the pottery wheel. When the holidays approach and snow piles up on the studio windowsill, Jungmin realizes how much she has changed. With her hands busy and her mind clear, she may be ready to face the memories she's been running from and open her heart. It says I guess this author is a hit Korean bestseller, so that's cool. This next one I got because it says Read with Jenna, and it's a non-removable sticker. It's actually printed on. One of the year-long readathons I'm doing says to read a book that's with it like a Jenna book club pick, so I'm going with this one. And I got it just because of that, to fulfill that particular prompt. This one is All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. It says, 1975 is a time of change in America. The Vietnam War is ending. Muhammad Ali is fighting Joe Frazier. And in the small town of Montclair, Missouri, girls are disappearing. When the daughter of a wealthy family is targeted, the most unlikely hero emerges, Patch, a local boy, who saves the girl, and, in doing so, leaves heartache in his wake. Patch and those who love him soon discover that the line between triumph and tragedy has never been finer, and that their search for answers will lead them to truths that could mean losing one another. And this is heavy. This, I feel like if someone were to break in and I wallop them, this will do some damage. It's heavy. Next, I have The Inheritance by Trisha. I'm just going to say Trisha because I have no idea how to pronounce that. It says, most family reunions end in tears. This one will end in murder. Meet the Agarwals, who have gathered on a private luxury island off the west coast of Scotland for a much-anticipated family reunion. Raj, the patriarch and a business tycoon, is about to announce to his wife and 3 children the succession plan for his multi-million-dollar Delhi-based company. I could have said that wrong. Shalini, the fragile matriarch, is ready to have her husband to herself after years of sacrifice to the family business. Myra, the golden child, owner of the island and host of the reunion, is, unbeknownst to her family, on the brink of bankruptcy. Asim, the son and supposed heir, is torn between his love for his wife and his duty to family. Aisha, the youngest, a party girl whose antics are legendary, can't pass up an opportunity to wreak havoc. And then there's Zoe, Asim's wife, the outsider whose hashtag Insta-perfect life is built on a foundation of lies. They've all got secrets they would die to protect. Who will survive this high-stakes reunion, and who will become a victim of their own greed? One thing is certain, this family gathering will shatter more than just their illusions of unity. Next, I have The Cool Thing. It says it is a dark comedy, or not, by Robert Reif. They're not alien, but they're not human either. Not anymore. What they are is pissed. A couple buy a medieval item, but it's way, way older than that, and it can do things. It's been stolen from an ancient buried UFO. The inhabitants want it back. Real bad. As mutants, monsters, and feces hit the fan, horror, hilarity, and romance explode. Next up is book number 1, and so far there's 3 books out, but there is a 4th one. I actually did pre-order the 4th one, but I sure hope I like this, because I can always cancel my pre-order the 4th one if I don't absolutely love it, but I think I will love it. Book number 1 is This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi. And I'll only read the synopsis of the first book on this. To all the world, Aliza is a disposable servant, never to be known for who she really is, the long-lost heir to an ancient Jinn kingdom. She is hunted always, forced to hide in plain sight lest she expose herself to danger, until one day she makes a mistake. The crown prince, Cameron, has heard the prophecies. He knows that the fearsome monster promised to kill his king. Darkness is fast descending upon his empire, driving Cameron to desperately seek out its source. But as he grows ever more suspicious of the servant girl with the strange eyes, the more he learns about her, and the harder it is to turn away. Even if falling for someone like Aliza means forfeiting everything he's ever known. So yeah. Book number 2 is These Infinite Threads. And book number 3 is All This Twisted Glory. Love this cover. Okay, this next one, there is no synopsis. I finally got the sticker off, but there is still just a little bit of sticker goop, but I'll work on getting that off. But this one is a collection of horror stories or short novellas, or I don't know, but this is Tales of Horror, H.P. Lovecraft. So loved this cover, and then that's the back. Just more. So yeah, Tales of Horror by H.P. Lovecraft. Okay, next up I have Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao. It says, on a back street in Tokyo lies a pawn shop, but not everyone can find it. Most will see a cozy ramen restaurant, and only the chosen ones, those who are lost, will find a place to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. Hana Ishikawa wakes on her first morning as the pawn shop's new owner to find it ransacked, the shop's most precious acquisition stolen, and her father missing. And then into the shop stumbles a charming stranger, quite unlike its other customers, for he offers help instead of seeking it. Together, they must journey through a mystical world to find Hannah's father and the stolen choice, by way of rain puddles, rides on paper cranes, and the bridge between midnight and morning, and a night market in the clouds. But as they get closer to the truth, Hannah must reveal a secret of her own, and risk making a choice that she will never be able to take back. Now this next book, I went ahead and got the whole series because I've seen this cover change I don't know how many times. I have read from this author before, so I do know I enjoy the author's writing, so I will read the synopsis of book number 1. I will not for the books after. So, That author is Samantha Shannon. I have read The Priory of the Orange Tree. This one is The Bone Season. I've heard some great things about this series. I know I like the author's writing. So this one says, welcome to Sion, no safer place. The year is 2059. For 2 centuries, the Republic of Sion has led to an oppressive campaign against unnaturalness in Europe. In London, Paige Mahoney holds a high rank in the criminal underworld. The right hand of the ruthless White Binder, Paige is a dreamwalker, a rare and formidable kind of clairvoyant. Under Sion law, she commits treason simply by breathing. When Paige is arrested for murder and thrown into captivity in Oxford, she meets the mysterious founders of Sion, who have designs of her uncommon abilities. If she is to survive and escape, Paige must use every skill at her disposal and put her trust in someone who ought to be her enemy. And then it has an image there. I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing I will find out. But, yep. Book number 2 is The Mime Order. No image on there. So. Book number 3 is The Song Rising. No image on the inside. Looks like there's going to be 7 books. Book number 6 is untitled, and same thing with book number 7. So, I don't know. Anyway, so book number 4 is The Mask Falling. Book number 5 is The Dark Mirror, and this is the most recent release. So, yep. And then next up I have Society of Lies. This is a Reese's Book Club. Printed on their sticker, can't be removed. By Lauren Ling Brown. This one says, how far would you go to belong? Maya has returned to Princeton for her college reunion. It's been a decade since she graduated, and she is looking forward to seeing old faces and reminiscing about her time there. This visit is special because Maya will also be attending the graduation of her little sister Naomi. But what should have been a dream weekend becomes Maya's worst nightmare when she receives the news that Naomi is dead. The police are calling it an accident, but Maya suspects that there is more to the story. As Maya pieces together what happened in the months leading up to her sister's death, she begins to realize how much Naomi hid from her. Despite Maya's warnings, Naomi had joined Sterling Club, the most exclusive social club on campus, the same one Maya belonged to, and Naomi was also tapped for the secret society within it. The more Maya uncovers, the more terrified she becomes that Naomi's decision to follow in her footsteps might have gotten her killed. Because Maya's time at Princeton wasn't as wonderful as she's always made it seem. After all, her sister wasn't the first young woman to turn up dead. Now every clue is leading Maya back to the past, and to the secret she's kept all these years. Okay, next up I have book number 1 in a series, and that is The Black Tongue Thief, written by Christopher Buehlman. I was looking for some more epic fantasies, and this came up as one that's supposed to be pretty good. So, let's see. Begin the journey of a lifetime. Kinch Na Shanak owes the Takers Guild a small fortune for his education as a thief, which includes, but is not limited to, lockpicking, knife fighting, wall scaling, fall breaking, lie weaving, and trap making, plus a few small magics. Polly says hello. Okay, Polly? Everyone says hello back. What else are you telling them? Anything else? Okay. Alright, let's not have you step on the keyboard. Thank you. His debt has driven him to lie in wait by the old forest road, planning to rob the next traveler that crosses his path. But today, Kinch Na Shanak has picked the wrong mark. Now, common enemies and uncommon dangers force this black-tongued thief and a mysterious, honor-bound knight in an epic journey where goblins hunger for human flesh. Krakens hunt in dark waters, and honor is a luxury few can afford. Next up, I have volume 5 of A Man and His Cat by Umi Sakurai. That's what the book is about. It's about a man and his cat. So this whole series. Can't remember how many there are, but I will be still working to collect these. I have number 4 I still need to read, but I wanted one ready to go after that. Next up is Giant Days, volume number 3. I have yet to get to number 2, but I do like this series. And looks like it's by Allison and Sarin and Cougar. Could be wrong on that. So one of them is the writer, one is the cartoonist, and one is the colorist, I believe. This one, it follows a group of friends in university. At least the first one does. And so it's just kind of a slice of life of university life. Okay, so continuing on, the only other volume in the Giant Days I purchased was volume number 4. The next up, I have 4 of another graphic novel series, and I'm hoping to get to this month in March. I am filming this in March. I am hoping to get to volume 2 of Something is Killing the Children. This one is volume number 3. So basically what has happened is some children go missing, some children end up dead, and this thing is only after the children, and only certain people can see this monster that the children can see, and things like that. So Something is Killing the Children. It's exactly what this book is about and what this series is about. Something is Killing the Children. I also purchased volume number 4, volume 5, as well as number 6. And the authors are James Tinian IV, which I believe is the actual that wrote the story. Werther Deledria, I believe, is the illustrator, and Miguel Muerto, I believe, is the colorist. Yes. Do you smell my dinner on my breath? This next book I purchased is book number 2 in the Bloodsworn trilogy. I already own book number 1, but I know I absolutely love this author's writing, and I look forward to eventually continuing on with this series after I finish the 3rd book in a series I'm currently working on. The author is John Gwynne, and book number 2 in the Bloodsworn. I have not read the first book in this trilogy. There's another trilogy I need to read book 3 of, and then I will start this trilogy. But this one's book number 2. Leek Rifa, the dragon god of legend, has been freed from her eternal prison. Now she plots a new age of blood and conquest. As Orca, Varg, and LeVar embark on dangerous roads, the might of the Bloodsworn and the Battle Grim will not be enough to stand against Leek Rifa. Their only hope lies within a book of forbidden magic. With the power to rise the wolf god, Ulferer, from the dead, and bring about a battle that will shake the foundations of the earth. So that is The Hunger of the Gods. I don't remember book number 1 is The Shadow of the Gods, and I do own that. It's on my bookcase. Molly. And then book number 3 in this trilogy, which I won't read the synopsis for, but book number 3 is The Fury of the Gods. This cover is creepy. Do you see it? Molly. Next up, I have Of Blood and Fire, written by Ryan Cahill. I'm guessing is how that's said. Could be wrong. This is book number 1 in the Bound and the Broken series. I don't know how long of a series it is. Born in fire, tempered in blood. Etheria is a land divided by war and mistrust. That alone makes me think of America right now. We're not in a war yet. I mean, not actual like shooting and that, but yeah. Mistrust is a big thing right now. Anyway. The High Lords of the South squabble and fight, only kept in check by the Dragon Guard, traitors of a time long past, who serve the Empire of the North. In the remote village of the southern Etheria, still reeling from the tragic loss of his brother, Kaelin Briar prepares for the proving, a test of courage and skill that not all survive. But when three strangers arrive in the village of Milltown with a secret they are willing to die for, Kaelin's world is ripped from under him, and he is thrust headfirst into a war that has been raging for centuries. There is no prophecy. His coming was not foretold. He bleeds like any man, and bleed he will. This next one is an epic fantasy. I was looking for suggestions of some good epic fantasies, and this one came up, and I liked the cover. And this one is The White Tower, H. Tunky, by Michael Weishart. This is book number 1 in the Alduran Chronicles. So I don't know how long this is going to be. This is over 500. 604 pages before all the extras, like the author's note and stuff like that. Let's see. Magic is outlawed. For 1,000 years, magic has been banished without the 5 kingdoms. Throughout the 5 kingdoms, and those caught wielding it are rounded up and taken to the White Tower. They are never heard from again. Ty knows he's different, and when the bounty hunters arrive in the quiet city of Easthaven, I think it's Easthaven. Okay, Easthaven. His family is forced to reveal the shocking truth about his magical bloodline, a secret that threatens not only his life, but the lives of everyone around him, including Lisa. Could be wrong on that. As the daughter of an overlord and a skilled fighter, Lisa will one day be expected to rule. However, when an Avari witch hires a tribe of Northmen to capture Ty, the two find themselves in the middle of a war they didn't know existed. Armed with nothing but his will to survive, Farron attempts what no prisoner has ever accomplished and vows to escape the White Tower. His only hope is Ray, a gifted healer tasked with keeping the prisoners alive during the Inquisitor's brutal interrogations. Will she be willing to risk her own life for that same chance of freedom? Arion outworked his fellow soldiers for years to become captain of the guard, but his strength and valor alone won't be enough to stop the bloodthirsty creatures coming for his king, or protect the woman he loves from the king's son. And when a sweeping number of the city's outcasts begin to mysteriously disappear, he realizes that the threat is closer than he knew. War is coming, the likes of which hasn't been seen since the time of the Cool Hordes. How will humanity fight back when those with the ability to do so are being exterminated? Okay, this next one is The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. They stole his crown, so he stole their daughter. For years, Eric, the scarred king of the Ever Kingdom, has thought of nothing but vengeance against the man who killed his father and trapped him beneath the waters, making Eric a prisoner in his own realm. When his enemy's daughter unwittingly breaks the chains on the Ever, and Eric plans to toss her into his game of revenge. She's innocent. He's vicious. But he will take back what he lost, no matter the price, unless she steals his heart first. And this next one is another one where it was, well, these next two I'm going to show you, where I ended up in like my Romance Reveal subscription box getting books 2, 3, 4, whatever it was in a series. So I got the first books. This one is Free Bird. What is this series? Oh, the Douglas Group, the Protectors series. This one's book number 1, and this is, again, Free Bird by Minion Michael. Shoulders back, back straight, chin up. Act like a lady, look like a lady. Oh, and be at your father's beck and call. These are things that Kate Fremont, codenamed Sparrow, has grown up with, and she's had enough. If the country thinks she's spoiled and ungrateful, she has a finger for them. She won't ruin their precious image of the president, but she's no longer playing by the man's rules. And she's certainly not going to put on a face for the world when Agent Henderson tries to drag her back to the White House. Tanner Chance Henderson lives by one word: protect. It doesn't matter that he's not a fan of the president's politics, and it certainly doesn't matter that he finds the first daughter to be a brat. He has a job to do. Oh, he has a job, and that's to keep his detail safe, even when she wants nothing to do with having Secret Service. Kate makes his job difficult in more ways than one. She has an attitude a mile wide that's only gotten worse as she's grown up. And grow up, she's done. She's no longer the 15-year-old he met the summer before President Fremont took office 7 years ago. Now she's a beautiful woman who's even more headstrong than she was before. He may not ever give into the attraction, but he'll stop at nothing to keep her safe, even when he realizes he already failed. Next up I have, let's see, it doesn't say the name of I think this is part of a series, if this is the one I'm thinking of. I could be wrong on this one, but anyway. This particular book is Swear on My Life by S.L. Scott. Warm brown eyes that melted my unsuspecting heart. A smile that knocked me off my feet. His touch, raw electricity. I never saw Harbor Westcott coming. I was a small town girl with big city dreams and more ambition than money to my name. He had everything, money, privilege, and the world at his feet. Opposites in every way, but that didn't matter. We were lightning in a bottle. And everything felt possible when we were together. Life was perfect, or so I thought. Years later, I'm no prepared for him than I was the first time. He swears on his life that we are meant to be forever, but I know I can't survive this man twice. And sounds kind of thick for a romance. So, 480 pages. And the last book I have in this haul to show you about, and hopefully, well, I mean, as of I am filming this one on March 19th, I am not expecting any more books for the rest of the month. But that could change if I read a library book that I absolutely love and then want a book by the author, you know, or a series continuation if I read a book in a series. So, I mean, that could change. There could be a part 2 to this, but I don't know. As of right now, this will be the only part. Obviously, you'll know if there's a part 2 because you'll see a part 2. If there is one. So, but the last one in this particular haul is actually a non-fiction, and this was a complete, like, cover caught my eye, and then it was sold by the title. And this one is Freaky Folklore, Terrifying Tales of the World's Most Elusive Monsters and Enigmatic Cryptids. Darkness Prevails with Carmen Carrion. It says, enter this frightful menagerie of iconic, creepy creatures, if you dare. Take a drive to encounter the beast of Bray Road. Learn how to answer Kushik Anna's riddle. Or hop on a cruise to search for the Hawkesbury River monster in this NSFB, not safe for bedtime, compendium from Darkness Prevails and Carmen Carrion, the minds behind the popular Freaky Folklore podcast. Featuring over 50 monsters of legend from around the world, there is no shortage of frights to be found in this hair-raising collection of tales. Freaky Folklore not only reveals the fascinating historical and cultural origins behind each creature, but also shares a terrifying account from those who have come face to face with it. Coupled with haunting illustrations, the stories collected in Freaky Folklore are best read aloud with fellow fright seekers, or by yourself under the covers with a flashlight, but don't blame us for any nightmares. This, I was just intrigued. So contents, we have an introduction, and look at that monster with the introduction. Before that, it does state which continents we will be. So we have the Americas, Europe, Africa, Australia, and New Zealand, and then Asia. And then after Asia is the conclusion. So Americas, and first up is the Skin Walker. And there's the picture. Bigfoot. I don't know all about Bigfoot, but I've heard of Bigfoot. So, of course, Bigfoot. And then, so there's a picture for each monster. Okay, this one's from Africa. The Kamapa. And it looks like a toad with fangs. And so that's the Kamapa. This one looks like the Burunjor. I don't know how to say that, but that's what this one is. Northern Australia. And that's what that one looks like. So there's just a bunch of these, and I think this will be very interesting, and I am really excited with this one. So yeah, that's the last book I have to show you in this particular video. Let me know, have you read any of these books? Have you read books from any of these authors? Do any of these books sound particularly intriguing to you? Definitely let me know. Do you have any book suggestions that you would like me to look into? Let me know that as well. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I will talk to you later.